So this video is going to go through question 6 of sample paper B. So it tells the image below shows a design for a wax melt burner. The design is based on different conic sections and parts of a circle. On the diagrams below, label the parts of a circle from the given list. So they've given you all these parts here and they want you to put them in the boxes below. And for part B, it tells you shown on the right is a dimension drawing of the elevation of the wax melt burner. The curve PQR is half an ellipse. Using the dimensions given, redraw the elevation on the axes below. So, for the first one here, it's pointing the distance from the center to the circumference, and that is our radius. So we can take that one out there. Next we have is a line that's going through the circle at 2 points, but it's not passing through the center, and that's going to be a chord. Next one then, we have a line going through but not passing through the center, and it's filled in around the circumference. And that part there is known as a segment. We then have a line touching a circle at 1 point. That's known as our tangent. Then we have two lines going through the center, and then it's enclosed, and that there is our sector. So these ones are very similar in terms of their names, so make sure you know the difference. A segment is where a part of the circle that's enclosed by a chord, and a sector is a part of the circle that's enclosed by two lines going into the center. And the last part then, we have our diameter, distance from the circumference to the other side going through the center. So our diameter there. Next one then is got to do with the ellipse and the parabola. Excuse me. So for this one here, we can see the ellipse is standing upright like that. Not usually the way we'd like to have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video and turn the sheet around to make it the ellipse on its side, the way we usually like to see it. So this is the way we usually like to see an ellipse, like that there. So the first thing I need to do is take my major circle and my minor circle. So my major circle is going to be the distance from here across to Q. So we take that distance there, and it's going to go slightly off the page for this actual question, going up this way. When we take our 30/60s, that won't matter. And cancel there. Let's extend my line PQ there, or PR there just for now. Then for my minor circle, is the distance from the center here out to P or R. Doesn't make a difference, they're both going to be the same. There's my minor circle now. Next thing, we divide up into 30/60. So 30 degrees there. 60 degrees there. And then 30 degrees down that way. And 60 down that way. Now wherever you have a line that goes out and hits the outer circle, the major one, we take those points down, and the lower half we take them up, and they were the same lines hit the minor circle, they go across. That will go across there, 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 and there, and extend this last one down here a bit. There. So now I have my points here for my ellipse. What I can do then is lightly connect them together like that. Just like that there. And then when you have your curve, you can draw on heavy then after. For now I'm going to leave it light because I'm going to have to draw in my arc. I initially called that a parabola. You can see there now it has a radius r on it, so it's an arc and not a parabola. So next part I'm going to draw is this circle here with the bit removed at the end. I'm told the distance is 15 out. I'm going to draw a vertical line there. I'm told it's going to be a radius of 30 with a distance of 32 in total there, which is 16 each side. So I go 16 there, 16 there, gives me my 32. And I'm given the radius 30, but I'm not given the centre. So bearing in mind what we learned already when we looked at the first part here about chord. If I just move the camera down a bit so you can see a chord is this line here. We know that when we have a chord, we can bisect it to find the centre. So we know somewhere along that line is going to be the centre. We already have that line there. And that's our chord for this one here. When we take that, we divide it, and we get our line there. So now we need to get a second chord in order to get our radius 30. And just from looking at it there, if that's a point on the circle there, and that's a point on the circle there, we don't actually need a second chord now. What we can do is, the distance from there to the centre is going to be 30, and the distance from there to the centre is going to be 30. So what we can do is, we can take our radius 30 there, swing an arc from either the top point or the bottom point, doesn't make a difference. We want to cross over each other. Then we can use that radius 30 and draw the rest of our circle there. So initially it looked like we could use a second chord, but we only had our one line there. And those 2 points, because they're on the circle, the centre has to be the same distance from each of them away, so that radius 30. Next thing then we have, and this will involve 2 chords, we have our radius here, that arc. We can see it's along that line. If we extend it out there, we can see it's along that line there, including Q, out to that point. So we can do is we extend that out first, somewhere along there it's going to be. The arc occurs between this point here and this point here and along there. So you can see it travels along that. And we're told from Q that it's going to be 26 mil in here. So that point there is this point. What I'll do is I'll label it A, B and C. There's point B. And if I extend Q down and take my distance from P across, you can see there and take this across here from R, that gives me point A and that gives me point C. If we take A to B as a line, that's a chord. If we bisect that, it's going to pass through the centre. Same if we took B to C and bisected it, it will go through the centre. So if I take A to B there and bisect it there and there, that gives me the line I drew there where the radius R is. It gives me that point as a result. I can take that distance now, stretch it out to B, it'll go through A as well, and what I have then, it goes through C. I have that arc now drawn in. And the good thing about that arc as well now is it shows me where my ellipse starts to go light then. So you can see from that point there. So I can draw that heavy to there. I can draw it light around to there, and take that heavy around to there, and draw that line heavy down there. And that completes question 6. So hope that video helps anyone who will be stuck in any of those parts.